Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name is Vin PF, and on today's episode we've got another episode of Whisky In, Whisky Out, and this time I'm going to be covering stuff that I got in and killed in the month of February 2021. As always, I'll be going through the whiskies that I got in first, and I'll be going through each of those in turn, giving kind of a first impression maybe, or at least how I got the bottle. Then after that I'll be doing my bottle kills of the month, this month particularly heavy month, and I'll give you a kind of mini review on those, and as always I'll add links in the description below for reviews as and when they happen, so if you're interested in my thoughts on that you can come back later on once I've covered that whiskey and have a look, or if I've already covered it the link will be down there. And as final admin point, if you're not interested in what I got in but you are interested in the bottle kills, there are some chapters available below so you can skip ahead and just see the bits that you want to see. Without further ado then, let's get into the Whisky In, and we'll see what we got in this month, shall we? Starting kind of no particular order, I guess, kind of, just reaching down here. As always, they're all down here. Bring them up. First one we got in then is the Samuel Gulliver's & Co. England's number 6. This is the official England rugby whiskey. I have actually already covered this one. This one came in and I wanted to review it straight away because the Six Nations was on. Made sense to me. So yeah, you can go check out my thoughts on this one right now, which is cool. Interesting whiskey. Next up, I haven't covered any of the rest of these ones yet. So this one here is the Circumstantial Wheat, and this bottle code is 13145. If you know, you know, right? Now this one came my way because I did a tasting with Circumstance Distillery on my kind of Discord and Zoom and stuff like that. So if you are interested in being part of that, and if you are in the UK, unfortunately, I've been trying to branch out further, but it's been difficult. Then make sure you check out the links in the description below to go and check out my Discord server. That's where you'll find out first. And of course, just follow me on social media because I do announce these tastings well ahead of time. Full circle, we did a tasting with these guys. I've tried the rice, and now I've tried all their samples that they sent through as well, and picked up this almost immediately after that tasting because I'd not tried it before, and it's very, very interesting. A little bit more expensive than the rice, but it's just a great whiskey. Can you call it a whiskey? Yeah, I think you can call it a whiskey. Not sure. I haven't reviewed it yet, so I haven't really done my research into what methods they use to make it, but nevertheless, it's a spirit in the vein of whiskey called wheat. The next ones are a bit of an interesting bunch, but you'll see why. They're all one distillery. Now, I got, I'll do it this way around first. So I'll get all three of these out. The reason why I've got all three of these, this is the Cotswolds Reserve. Cotswolds Reserve. Not sure about that name. We'll go into that another day. We've got the Cotswolds Bourbon Cask and we've got the Cotswolds Sherry Cask. These three came my way because a long-time watcher of the show, and dare I say friend of the show, he got in touch with me and said, I want to send, he wants to buy himself 3 bottles of whiskey, predominantly Cotswolds, but he wants to send them to me first so that I can open them, review them, and then send them to him afterwards, having tried my hardest not to kill too much of the bottles. Really generous thing to do. Guy called James Palmer, absolute legend. And so that's how I got them. So I got these for free, but I didn't get them from the brand. I got them from a community member, and that's exactly what I'll do. I'll pop the corks, which I have already done. I'll review them and I'll send them on to him, and he'll get the whole bottle package and everything, just minus a little bit of whiskey. So it's a really handy way of me doing reviews because, for a start, it didn't cost me anything, which is always great, and it benefits him because he gets his nearly full bottle of whiskey anyway, and yet really gets to support my channel. So massive thanks to him for this because it really helps to fund the channel. Exactly that. I'm not saying I'll do that kind of thing regularly. First time I've actually done it so far, apart from I think James did one for me a couple of years ago. But if you are interested in something like that, give me a call. Reason why this is interesting is that the week after I received these 3, my Somerton package came through, and I got this. So I now have 2 bottles of that. But what I'm going to do, and he already knows about this, so it's no surprise. The honourable thing here would be just to send him the sealed bottle of whiskey, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I've got one open that I've already opened that I'll review. That's now going to be mine, as if it was the Somerton one. And the one that's full and sealed, I'll get that over to him. That's what I'm going to do. There you go. That's my Whisky In this month. Let me just move these back here out of the way. let's check out my bottle kills this month. Like I said at the start, it's been a particularly heavy month, but I've got 5 here, which is rare for me, but I caveat that with that all of these were in a position to be bottle killed below the label. And I had a good friend of mine who likes whiskey come over 2 or 3 times this month for the first time in years. So we killed a few bottles off that needed to be killed. This is definitely no particular order, so let's reach down here and get the first one. We have a Tormore 14. And it's worth saying as well, all of these will have been reviewed already, so you can go and check out my reviews of these if you want. Picked up 2 bottles of this in France. Thought that because I couldn't get them in the UK, it might be worth some money to me. This was years ago, bear in mind. Quickly found out it wasn't, so I drank them both. That's just how I roll, baby. Next up, we've got the Bruichladdich Isle of Barley 2010. Really interesting purchase. I picked this up in a local off-license, I guess is the best way of describing it. I'm not really sure they knew what they had, but they had it on sale for retail a good couple of years after it had been released and sold out. So I bought it straight away. Probably could have made some money on that one again, but I'm not a flipper, I'm a drinker. Sue me. Funnily enough, 3 of these are all the same, you know. Okay, this one here is the Clynelish, what do they call this thing? The Clynelish Reserve? Yeah. House Tyrrell Game of Thrones whiskey. This was my last Game of Thrones bottle to be killed. It's now dead. I sort of said this was about the same as those two because if I'd have bought this on the first round and then sold it, I probably could have made double the money. But I thought that whole thing, soapbox here, but I thought that whole thing, the Game of Thrones whiskey thing, was absolute bull crap. Didn't buy into it at all. I feel sorry for anyone who did buy into it, who's still sitting on their bottles that aren't worth jack now. But, you know, Diageo did an absolute masterstroke by releasing like next to none of them to start with, knowing full well they had so many bottles of it. Everyone went crazy on the secondary market, and then Diageo just absolutely flooded the market with these things. So they were like, some people got really shafted by it and spent nearly 1,000 on the whole complete range when it was worth about 300. And then they were very quickly on Amazon deal for nearly half price for a lot of these. So, yeah. In terms of marketing, genius by Diageo. I think it was a really nasty move, and I think the whiskies themselves are all relatively good. Some of them aren't that great, but that one was really good. Top 2, I think. But yeah, I still have a bitter taste in my mouth about that Game of Thrones saga, and I'm sorry if you got wrapped up in it. Next one then is the Gulliver's 47, and this one here is the English whiskey STR. They're all English, I don't know why I said that bit. This one here is Cotswolds. They're the Cotswolds STR, and it was really good whiskey. 47%, as always, 47%. Really like what these guys are doing, and was ashamed to kill it, but kill it I did. Finally then, big heavy hitter, the Glengoyne 18 years. This one was actually sent my way by a really, really long time watcher of the show who goes by Ben Marnock. I don't think he'll thank me for saying his real name, but yeah, I had originally sought to buy a bottle of this off him, and then he just sent it to me for free anyway. Ironically, in fact, I did review this, but I reviewed a sample size a couple of years ago. What I should have done is done a re-review of this, and I didn't realise it until I'd already finished it. Stupid. But it is what it is, right? So, you know, Ronnie, if you want to sell me another bottle, I'll actually buy it off you this time. Maybe I'll do a re-review of that. There you go. That's my Whisky In and Whisky Out for this month. It was nearly even this month. I've got 6 in and 5 out. Although one of them is not going to be opened, it's going to be sent off. So I think it's technically 5 in, 5 out, which is the first time it's been even in a while. I've got a few more bottles to be killed lined up, so hopefully it's going to start evening out a little bit. I need to start clearing these shelves. And I'm going to start going to shows and stuff again and sharing the love. There you go. Another Whisky In, Whisky Out. Hopefully you'll join me again next month, and hopefully you'll join me again for the whisky reviews in between. See you soon.